Hello, this is John Russell Cring, another episode of Impact and Entertainment Extravaganza. And those people who know me know that I love both women and lingerie. And that combination, you put those together, besides pornography, you can get something wonderful entitled burlesque. Now, when I say lingerie, I'm not referring to actually wearing women's lingerie, though there is the third Thursday of every month. But along those themes, we have a great group of guests here. Guy Smiley and Honey Cummings from the Big Bam Boom burlesque show.
Bing Bam Boom.
Bing Bam.
Bing Bam Boom.
The Big Bing
show.
Bang. Okay,
Easy
Bing.
for you to say.
B-I-N-G. Bing Bing.
Easy for you to say, John.
The Bing Bam Boom burlesque show
Yes.
here locally in the area. Thanks so much for being on the show.
Hey, it's great to be here.
Well, thanks for having us.
All right. When we're talking about burlesque, we're talking about double entendres. We're talking about having fun with sex, aren't we?
Sure, and it's also the strip tease.
The strip tease, okay.
The tease is very important in burlesque. You know, you can't just come out there and twirl those
I just
things.
get right
You have
away.
to get to that
Damn
point.
it.
And that's what it's really about.
That's
It's about
right.
telling the story.
All right.
The woman getting out there, or sometimes
And then
the
it's
man,
okay.
and then getting
Okay,
to
there we
that.
go. Okay.
But it's telling that story. It's bringing that to the audience with a song, with a costume, and with the right music.
This is something that has existed since, what, the 1900s, 18?
Yes.
Really?
For a long time, especially in theaters down in New York, in England.
Okay.
It's been part of vaudeville for a long time. It was known as the lowest rung on the show business ladder for some time.
I'm surprised I don't know that wrong then.
Yeah,
Yes.
I don't mind being a part of it. I really don't. But it's come to a great resurgence in the past 10, 15 years in all of the major cities, and Albany is now taking part in that. And we've been running for 8 years now.
Yes, and
It
wait,
started
now,
our 8th
Honey,
year.
did you start with the company right from the beginning?
no, I've only been with the company. Actually, my anniversary is 2 years this month in October.
Wow. Wow. But ever since you've come with the company, they've actually started to be successful.
Well, yeah, it's all due to me, of course.
Of course.
Yes, two of our best years.
Thank you, honey.
Absolutely.
Thank you, honey. How did you decide that you wanted to get involved in burlesque?
Well, back in my youth, when I first got out of college, I actually was a stripper locally.
Okay.
So that was kind of the seed that was planted for me, taking my clothes off in public. Then 2 years ago, my friend Amanda introduced me to Guy Smiley and Mr. James, the other producer, and she said, I think you'd be really good at this. And so I went and saw a show 2 years ago in June, and I was like, yeah, I can do this, and it's a lot more fun. They don't take themselves seriously. It's just everybody's there to have a good time, and the audience has fun, we have fun, it's wonderful.
You talked about the resurgence that happened about 10 or 15 years ago. In Las Vegas, there were some specific people that almost became like the stars of burlesque. And is that just sort of kind of spread out, or is burlesque really always been there? It's just been underground.
I think it's always been there, and I think it's just coming to the forefront. Places like in New York City where you have Miss Coney Island,
right,
and the Coney Island Strip.
I love Coney Island.
I mean, it's just great because you also can throw the vaudevillian sideshow stuff into it, and it's just it just became the whole art of stripping became a new thing that could be done as a show, and the classic form of the whole thing.
Now, but you don't necessarily have to have nudity in burlesque.
You
correct?
do not.
No.
So are there different levels of shows really that you decide, like you'll do a more adult show for one type show, and then, or basically do you guys kind of have found your level of what you like to do?
Yes, because we've actually done shows for fundraising events and stuff where we pull it back a little bit, and we don't have them take it off fully. Mm-hmm. And then there are shows where we do regular shows where they go down to pasties. Legally in the bar, you have to have a pasty.
Right.
You have to keep certain areas covered.
I've had people tell me that for years.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, you have to have pasties. Well, nobody wants to see these. They're like these strange slit-like alien things. Nobody wants to see my eyes. Trust me. So. And there's a storyline usually that you create for each show, right?
We do themes on occasion. Generally, like this month coming up, we of course are celebrating Halloween. Not that we're not in costume every other month, but Halloween is a special time for us, and this year we are doing the Bing Bamboo Room Sucks.
Okay.
A gothic vampire saga.
Lovely.
Yes, we really have a stake in this one.
Oh! You know, I could have gone all day.
Without a bad pun. You know, some of my friends say...
That's part of the charm.
Yeah, never a pun guy, but I happen to like the pun.
Have some pun fun.
Have some fun.
And then we're done.
It is.
Yes.
Yeah, and then we're done. That's very good, John.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, that'll be on the 29th.
29th.
We're
Monday.
the last Monday of the month in our new location.
Which is where?
At the Bayou Cafe in downtown Albany.
Right,
79 North
well,
Grove Street.
Savannah's closed down.
Yes, unfortunately. They had some issues with their landlord, and they had to get out.
Talk to me about being in Smallbany. Okay, talk to me about...
I hate that term.
Oh, you do?
I do really hate that term.
Okay, fair enough.
Because you know what? There is a lot of arts in here. Now, you do this show. I mean, the theater, the local theater, the community theater, and I happen to, in my real world job, worked with Classic Theater Guild.
Right.
I've worked with Local Actors Theater Guild, Albany Civic Theater. There is some great theater here. There is a wonderful movie making.
Think about this guy. Everybody who lives in Albany, New York, would, if they had the opportunity as far as their business and their artistic, would like to live in New York City, but they don't want to spend $2,500 a month, or they rent. So really what you're getting is all the quality that you have in New York City with just smarter people who have decided that they would rather be large fish in a smaller pond than they would be in the largest city in the world.
And live in larger apartments for less money.
Exactly. Exactly.
And live more comfortably.
So really, this area has New York City quality in probably every form of the arts, it's just I just think that there's an attitude, in Albany that they kind of, they're forgotten about.
Well, I think that people should wake up and realize what wonderful things are around them, and stop calling it Smallbany and get out there and actually enjoy what is out there.
You have to expose people to things. If I understand correctly, honey, you also do kind of a sideshow thing, like a blockhead, right?
I do the human blockhead where I hammer a nail up my nose.
And that was just like a party trick you used to do when you got drunk and then decided to try to make money at it? Or how did one discover that they could be the human blockhead?
Well, I've always been interested in sideshow people, my whole life, and
referring to your boyfriends.
Family member.
And I discovered one of my coworkers at my old job used to travel with a sideshow as a human blockhead. So I said, "Can you teach me how to do that?" And he said, "Sure." So sideshow is different from magic. And people ask magicians, how do you do that? With sideshow people, they ask, why do you do that?
Ah, that's true.
That's the difference.
So there's music, there's dancing. Obviously there is the tease, the strip. What else can you expect in the show?
That's what makes our burlesque show very vaudevillian. Is the fact that we, in between the dancing girls or boys, whatever that may be, we have comedians, magicians, sideshow acts,
fire dancing, fire eating.
There could be fire eating. There could be a singer, a torch song. So it's basically, hey, if you don't like this act, wait 3 minutes.
Right.
It's a constant barrage of different acts.
What are you hoping to see in Albany as far as just in the arts and even specifically in burlesque? What would you like to see happen?
Well, I think what we're doing is already what I want to see is we are creating different kinds of burlesque. We have 2 sister shows as well. We've started a 1920s themed burlesque that we call
How is that different?
Burlesque Paradiso. Well, it uses just 1920s themed music.
Okay.
And it's the costumes are all 1920s themed, and we're doing it at Restaurante Paradiso.
Okay.
Which some people may remember was used as one of the film locations for Ironweed.
Oh, okay. Awesome.
And it's a beautiful space with wonderful murals, and it's a great place to play that 1920s themed music. And create a whole different feeling and genre of music.
Especially with like Boardwalk Empire and that type of thing.
Sure.
People are sort of,
period. It's a whole
totally
new time period to explore.
Right.
We keep that, and that is a lot different than our regular Bing Bamboo Room show because we can explore different music in our Bing Bamboo Room show that we don't get to explore.
Right, and you said that there's another show too.
That would be Spam.
Okay.
Scooter Pie at Midnight.
Okay.
Now that is an all-girl, all-rock-and-roll burlesque show. Starts at midnight at Valentine's.
That sounds terrible.
Yeah, I know. It's just a terrible
that looks like something that you're not going to have any fun.
And now, usually that is on the third Saturday of every month, but we're actually pushing that up this month to coincide with the holiday weekend of Halloween, so we're going to put that on the 27th. Thank you, honey.
How do people find the burlesque show?
Well, obviously word of mouth,
right.
And we have a page on Facebook. We also have our own website. We have a mailing list.
What's the website?
BigBambooBurlesque. Is it? It's not com. Yeah, it's not working anymore.
Oh, there we go. Guy came in.
Came through. Woo.
Came into the clutch.
Can I tell you what we want to do with our website? It's under construction now, but our intent is to have it be all things burlesque. So what we want to do is link other burlesque groups in the Northeast to our site, so that if you go there, you can find out what's going on in Hudson, Poughkeepsie, Syracuse, everywhere pretty much of what's going on with burlesque. So you can go to one place, and go to our site, and you'll be able to find it.
Now, you've already described the website. The show is going to be on the 27th. The show is going to be on the 29th. And it happens all over the town all the time. You guys are doing this.
Yeah, every month.
Shows a month. Every month.
Thank you so much, and I'm sorry for all of the sexual references on this show. Goodbye.
Proctors, bringing the best in arts, education, and entertainment.